All right, get ready to dive deep because today we're tackling Czech innovations. And trust me, it's a lot more interesting than you might think. We're going to uncover some surprising contributions from the Czechs throughout history, and I think you'll be amazed by what we find.
What I find so fascinating is how this small nation has consistently had such a huge impact on science, technology, and even culture. They've really got this spirit of creativity and problem solving that shines through.
Okay, I'm intrigued, so where should we start?
How about we rewind all the way back to the 18th century?
Sounds good.
It was a time when electricity was still this big mystery. And then along comes Prokop Divis, a priest who started experimenting with the forces of nature.
Wait, a priest playing with electricity? That's not what I expected. What was he up to?
Well, in 1754, he unveiled what he called his meteorological machine, a device designed to, you guessed it, control the weather.
Control the weather.
Specifically, he was trying to harness lightning to stop it from causing so much damage.
So was he like a real-life Dr. Frankenstein?
Not quite. His machine might sound a bit wild to us now, but it was actually based on pretty solid scientific ideas for the time. Divis believed that if you grounded metal rods in the earth, you could draw lightning away from buildings.
Hold on. Is this leading where I think it is? Was he inventing the lightning rod?
You got it. He is absolutely considered one of the lightning rod pioneers. We often give the credit to Benjamin Franklin, but Divis was working on very similar things around the same time, and his invention not only helped protect buildings from lightning strikes, but it also gave us a better understanding of atmospheric electricity.
That's amazing. It really makes you think how many other inventors are out there, people we might not even know, who've had these huge impacts on the world. So what else did the Czechs contribute in those early days of science?
Let's fast forward to the 19th century and meet Jan Evangelista Perkině, a name you might not recognize, but one that's really important.
Okay, you've got my attention. Who was this Perkině guy, and why should I care?
Perkině was a true Renaissance man, a pioneer in physiology, histology, and even astronomy. But one of his biggest discoveries was Purkinje fibers found in the heart.
Purkinje fibers. Remind me what those are again.
Well, they're these special muscle fibers that conduct electrical impulses through the heart. Basically, they make sure your heart beats in a steady rhythm.
Wow, so he helped us understand how our hearts keep ticking.
Exactly. And his discoveries didn't stop there. Perkině also made some major breakthroughs in cell theory and even how we see. He had an incredible range of scientific interests.
So we've got a priest taming lightning and a scientist figuring out the secrets of the human heart, all coming from the same country. It sounds like the Czechs have a real knack for these fundamental breakthroughs.
You're catching on. And speaking of foundations, let's talk about Joseph Ressel. This guy's invention literally changed how we travel the world.
All right, now I'm really curious. What did he invent?
Imagine a world where ships are completely at the mercy of the wind, where journeys are long and unpredictable. That was the reality before Ressel came along and invented a reliable ship propeller.
Wait a minute, the same kind of propeller we use on ships today.
Exactly. He got the patent in 1827, and it was a total game changer. Suddenly, ships could move faster, more efficiently, and without needing wind.
So he basically unlocked global trade and exploration as we know it. That's incredible. It seems like every Czech invention we've talked about so far has had this ripple effect, changing the world in ways we don't even realize.
You're right. That's the beauty of digging into these stories. We start to see how one idea can lead to another and how human ingenuity is all connected.
I'm hooked. I can't wait to hear what other inventions we uncover. What's next on our tech innovation adventure?
Well, how about we jump ahead to the 20th century, a time of incredible technological progress. This is where we meet the man who, quite literally, changed the way millions of people see the world.
Okay, now you've got me on the edge of my seat. Tell me more. Who are we talking about?
His name was Otto Wichterle, and his invention was something you might be very familiar with: soft contact lenses.
No way. Contact lenses are a Czech invention. I had no idea.
Yep. Before Wichterle, contact lenses were made from these hard, uncomfortable materials. But in 1959, he figured out a way to make lenses from a soft material called hydrogel, which molded to the shape of the eye.
So he took something that already existed and made it way better. I bet that had a huge impact on people.
Absolutely. It made corrective lenses more comfortable and easier to wear for millions of people all over the world. It all started with Wichterle's commitment to finding a better way.
I'm seeing a pattern here. The Czechs seem to have a knack for finding problems and coming up with really clever solutions.
Exactly. And that pattern keeps going with our next innovator. This guy's not as well known as Wichterle, but he made a big impact on art and design.
Okay, tell me about this unsung hero of creativity.
His name was Karol Klusz, and he was an inventor, an artist, and a printing pioneer. In 1878, he developed a revolutionary technique called photogravure.
Photogravure. It rings a bell, but I'm a bit fuzzy on the details.
Imagine a time when images were reproduced using crude methods that didn't always look great. That's where photogravure came in. It was a process that allowed for incredibly detailed and nuanced prints, capturing light and shadow in a way that had never been done before.
So it was a big step forward for printing images,
Hmm.
but how did it work?
It involved etching a photograph onto a copper plate, which was then used to make high-quality prints. The result was this amazing level of detail that you just couldn't get with other methods.
So basically, think beautiful, richly textured art and photographs, all thanks to Cleach. It's crazy to think how one person can have such a big impact on how we see and appreciate art.
It shows us that innovation isn't always about shiny new gadgets or scientific discoveries. Sometimes it's about taking something that already exists and making it even better.
I'm learning so much. We've covered so much ground already, from harnessing electricity to changing how we see and print. And it all came from this one country that, to be honest, I didn't know that much about before we started.
Believe it or not, we've only just scratched the surface. The story of Czech innovation is full of surprises, and I've got plenty more to explore.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued. What other wonders await us in the world of Czech innovation?
Well, let's switch gears a bit and head into a field where precision and engineering are king, the automotive industry.
Ah, yes. Of course, we have to talk about Dakota Auto. I mean, they've built a reputation for making cars that are reliable and practical, right?
Exactly. Dakota really embodies the Czech Republic's long history of craftsmanship and automotive excellence. Their story goes all the way back to the late 19th century, and they've always adapted to the changing world of cars.
So they've managed to stay ahead of the curve, even in an industry that's constantly changing.
Absolutely. They've embraced new technologies, from improving fuel efficiency to electric vehicles and even self-driving systems. It makes sense for a country with such a strong history of problem-solving and technical skills.
It's so cool to see how they've taken their tradition of excellence and applied it to the future of transportation.
Yeah.
What other areas have the Czechs made a mark on that I might not expect?
Get ready for another surprise, because we're about to enter a field that you might not typically associate with the Czech Republic: the defense industry.
Wow, that's not what I was expecting. What kind of contributions have they made there?
They've got a long history of producing top-notch firearms, ammunition, and even armored vehicles. Companies like Ceska zbrojovka, or CZ for short, are known all over the world for their quality and reliability.
CZ, now that you mention it, that name does ring a bell. Don't they make some pretty famous pistols?
You got it. The CZ-75 pistol is a classic, known for its ergonomic design, accuracy, and how well it holds up. It's used by militaries and police forces in so many countries, which really says something about its quality.
So they're not just making guns, they're equipping some of the most elite forces on the planet. That's impressive.
And their expertise isn't limited to handguns either. Let's go back in time to the 1930s, when Czech engineers were really pushing the boundaries of tank design.
Tanks from the 1930s. That sounds like something straight out of a history book. Were those tanks any good?
They were ahead of their time. The LT-35 and LT-38 tanks were developed by Czech companies and had some seriously innovative features for their era. In fact, the LT-38 was so good that the German army adopted it after they occupied Czechoslovakia during World War II.
Wow, so even their enemies recognized how good Czech engineering was. That says a lot.
And there's more. The Czech Republic also has a booming aerospace industry, with companies like Aero Vodochody making training and light combat aircraft that are used all over the world.
Aircraft too. Okay, now I'm really impressed. What kind of planes are we talking about?
Aero Vodochody is known for planes like the L-39 Albatross and the L-159 ALCA. The L-39, a jet trainer, was super popular during the Cold War, especially among the Warsaw Pact countries.
So they played a key role in training pilots during one of the most tense periods in history. That's pretty amazing.
Those aircraft were known for being reliable, versatile, and affordable, which made them a popular choice for a lot of air forces.
It seems like there's a common thread here: practicality, reliability, and a real focus on performance. It's interesting how those qualities are present in everything from their cars to their firearms to their aircraft.
It reflects a certain engineering philosophy, a dedication to building things that not only work, but work really, really well.
I am absolutely blown away by how much the Czechs have contributed to the world. from the inner workings of the human body to the vastness of space, from everyday objects to high-tech innovations. It seems like they've had a hand in shaping so much of our modern world.
And we're not done yet. There's one more area we need to explore, one that really captures the Czech spirit of scientific curiosity and exploration.
Ooh, a cliffhanger. You've definitely piqued my curiosity. What's this final chapter in our Czech innovation story?
Well, let's turn our attention to the stars and venture into the realm of space exploration.
Space exploration. Now, this is getting really interesting. Tell me, how did this relatively small nation make its mark in such a huge field?
It's not about size, is it? It's about that drive to explore the unknown, to push boundaries. And the Czechs have that in spades. They've been actively involved in missions with the European Space Agency, contributing to projects that are helping us learn more about the universe.
So they're not just launching rockets, they're actively involved in the science behind space exploration. What kind of work have they been doing?
They've been developing cutting-edge instruments and systems for space telescopes, which are helping us observe distant galaxies and study the composition of planets.
Wow, they're helping us unlock the secrets of the cosmos. From the human heart with those Purkinje fibers we talked about earlier to the vastness of space, it's incredible how far-reaching Czech innovation really is.
And their story isn't over. They're continuing to push the boundaries in fields like nanotechnology and robotics, building on their long history of innovation and problem solving.
It makes you wonder what incredible inventions are being developed in Czech labs right now. Ideas that could change the future in ways we can't even imagine.
Exactly. And that's what's so exciting about all of this. We've traveled from the 18th century to the frontiers of space, and it's clear that the Czech spirit of innovation is alive and well.
This has been a real eye-opener for me. I came in with some assumptions about the Czech Republic, but I'm honestly blown away by everything they've accomplished.
It reminds us that innovation can happen anywhere, that even a nation that might not always be in the headlines can have a profound impact on human history. And the best part is, their story is still being written.
So, to all our listeners, I encourage you to embrace that same spirit of curiosity. Look beyond what you already know, explore the unexpected, and never underestimate the power of a single idea to change the world. Who knows, the next big breakthrough might be right around the corner, just waiting to be discovered. So, we've seen how Czech ingenuity has left its mark on science, medicine, and even the arts. Where do we go from here?
Well, now let's shift gears and explore a field where precision and engineering prowess are paramount, the automotive industry.
Ah, yes. Otto Auto immediately comes to mind. They've built a reputation for producing reliable, practical cars.
Precisely. Otto's story is a testament to the Czech Republic's long tradition of craftsmanship and automotive excellence. Their origins date back to the late 19th century, and they've consistently adapted to the evolving landscape of the automotive world.
So they've managed to stay ahead of the curve, even in an industry that's constantly innovating.
Absolutely. They've embraced new technologies from fuel efficiency to electric vehicles and even autonomous driving systems. It's a natural progression for a country with such a deep-rooted history of problem-solving and technical expertise.
It's fascinating to see how they've taken this tradition of excellence and applied it to the future of transportation. It makes you wonder what other unexpected areas have the Czechs made their mark on.
Well, prepare to be surprised again because we're about to delve into a sector that you might not associate with the Czech Republic. The defense industry.
Wow, that's not something I would have guessed. What kind of contributions have they made in that field?
They have a long and established history of producing high-quality firearms, ammunition, and even armored vehicles. Companies like Ceska zbrojovka, better known as CZ, have gained global recognition for their craftsmanship and reliability.
CZ rings a bell. Aren't they famous for making some pretty iconic pistols?
You're absolutely right. The CZ75 pistol, in particular, is renowned worldwide for its ergonomic design, accuracy, and durability. It's been adopted by military and police forces in numerous countries, which speaks volumes about its quality and performance.
So they're not just making firearms, they're equipping some of the most elite security forces around the globe. That's quite an accomplishment.
Their expertise goes beyond handguns, though. Let's step back in time to the 1930s when Czech engineers were pioneering advancements in tank design.
Tanks from the 1930s. That sounds like something straight out of a history book. Were those tanks any good?
They were ahead of their time, actually. The LT-35 and LT-38 tanks, developed by Czech companies, incorporated innovative features for their era. The LT-38 in particular was so well designed and effective that it was adopted by the German army after they occupied Czechoslovakia during World War II.
Wow, so even their adversaries recognized the brilliance of Czech engineering. That's a pretty powerful testament to their ingenuity.
And the story doesn't end there. The Czech Republic also has a thriving aerospace industry, with companies like Aero Vodochody producing training and light combat aircraft that have been used around the world.
Aircraft too. Okay,
Yeah.
now I'm seriously impressed. What kind of planes are we talking about here?
Aero Vodochody is known for aircraft like the L-39 Albatross and the L-159 ALCA. The L-39, a jet trainer, gained widespread popularity during the Cold War era, used extensively by countries within the Warsaw Pact.
So they were playing a crucial role in training pilots during one of the most tense periods in history. That's incredible.
These aircraft were celebrated for their reliability, versatility, and cost-effectiveness, making them a popular choice for air forces around the world.
So we're seeing a recurring theme here: practicality, reliability, and a focus on performance. It's fascinating how these qualities shine through in everything from their cars to their firearms and even their aircraft.
It speaks to a deep-rooted engineering philosophy, a commitment to building things that not only work, but work exceptionally well.
Okay, I'm officially blown away by the sheer breadth and depth of Czech innovation, from the depths of the human body to the vastness of space, from everyday objects to cutting-edge technologies. It seems like they've had a hand in shaping almost every aspect of our modern world.
And there's still one more area we need to explore, one that perfectly embodies the Czech Republic's enduring spirit of scientific curiosity and exploration.
Ooh, a cliffhanger. All right, you've piqued my curiosity. What's this final chapter in our Czech innovation saga?
Let's turn our gaze skyward, beyond the confines of our planet, and venture into the realm of space exploration.
Space exploration. Now, this is getting really exciting. I can't wait to hear how the Czechs have contributed to this incredible field. Space exploration, I'm all ears. Tell me, how has this relatively small nation carved out a place for itself amongst the stars?
Well, it's not about size, is it? It's about that spark of curiosity, that drive to push boundaries and explore the unknown. And the Czechs definitely have that. They've been active projects that are expanding our understanding of the universe.
So they're not just launching rockets, they're playing a key role in the scientific work behind space exploration. What kind of things have they been involved in?
They've been developing some pretty amazing instruments and systems that are used in space telescopes, helping us observe distant galaxies and study what planets are made of.
Wow, they're helping us unlock the secrets of the cosmos. From those Purkinje fibers in the human heart we talked about earlier, to the vast expanse of space, it's mind-boggling how far Czech innovation reaches.
And their story isn't over yet. They're continuing to push boundaries in fields like nanotechnology and robotics, building on their impressive legacy of innovation and problem solving.
It makes you wonder what amazing inventions are being cooked up in Czech labs right now. Ideas that will shape the future in ways we can't even imagine.
Exactly. That's the beauty of it all, isn't it? We've gone from the 18th century to the frontiers of space, and what we've seen is that the Czech spirit of innovation is as strong as ever.
This deep dive has been a real eye-opener for me. I came in with a few assumptions about the Czech Republic, and I've been completely blown away by how much they've contributed to the world.
It's a good reminder that innovation can blossom anywhere, that even a nation that might not always be in the headlines can make a huge impact on human history. And the exciting thing is, their story is still being written.
So, to all our listeners out there, I encourage you to embrace that same spirit of curiosity. Look beyond what you already know. Explore the unexpected. And never underestimate the power of an idea to change the world. Who knows, the next big breakthrough might be just around the corner, waiting to be discovered. This has been The Deep Dive, and we'll be back soon with another fascinating journey into the world of knowledge and discovery. Until then, keep learning, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.